And I have returned. Welcome back. For those of you watching the VODs on YouTube, hello! Do all the social stuff below the video, etc., etc. Today, I have to make some Coke as our first thing for the day. I need about a little over 2 Coke per second, but yeah, we can make a bit more than that, I think. We can make just a little bit more than that. So, let us do exactly that. I need Coke. I need to do so out of just the crushed. I'm not going to do it out of the washing process. That seems like a terrible idea. I would rather not wash my coal. Let's say I want 15 out. That's gonna be 7.5 coal. Let's say I want 30 out. That's gonna be, yeah, that right there. 8 and 8. Cool, that is a nice little ratio there. I think I put some of those steel metal mixing furnaces in my car. I'm actually going to need to make an additional one of those, as well as grab any of those crushers that I may have. I have 6 of those crushers. I need 8. Let's see here. I know that I'm making them. There we go. Just grab another stack there of those, and... Oh, hey, I actually... Oh! I have a few of them produced at this point. That's good to know. And see. That should be limited by a lot. Lots of stuff needing the steel pipes. Am I making... Probably not. I'm probably not making what I need to do the actual build that I'm trying to do. Yeah, I don't... Did I do the... Yes. Actually, yes, I did. I did do the ore processor ones. So that's the other thing about this process here. This process here is going to get more complex over time. You just finished watching the YouTube video of my last stream and wanted to point out the reason my math was off for avoiding the Coke was because Boiler Mark 2 is 3.6, not 3.8. Oh. Then I'm blind. Clearly. I'm blind. The Mark 2 boiler. Yeah, 3.6. Yeah, I'm blind. I thought it was 3.8. Oops. You know what it is? It's 1.8 on the basic boiler. That, yeah. And then it doubles it to 3.6. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm just blind. Clearly. Clearly, I'm blind. So, I will need more supplier train stops as we go along. And likely more requesters. I'm okay on regulars for now. Get rid of this stuff. I don't need all that. Don't need that stuff in my inventory, taking up all the space on the planet. Okay for signals for now. Let these cargo bots take some things. I am very much looking forward to faster robots. Can I make that clear? Right now, I'm very much looking forward to faster robots. I like that these guys can carry 100 things at a time. They're just so slow at doing it. It's like, oh god, so much stuff to move. Yes, I'm gonna need these. And these. How many of these? 8 and 4. Alright, good to know. So there's going to be more steps here, is what I was trying to say. There's going to be an extra pellet step that gets added in to this at some point. The processed iron processes into pellets, and then the pellets will get processed in the blast furnace. So I need to make sure that I have the spacing set to add in pellet presses at some point. This will also need a local a source of limestone. It will also need limestone, so I need to have like some train station, I guess, to bring in the limestone for this. There are also other things. Isn't limestone a byproduct of a certain process? Oh, by the way, you can see how we'll go up to 30 ingots out when we add pellet press processing versus the 22 and a half we get here. It's a pretty good boost to the output of ingots that we get here. It's a very, very good process once we do get access to it. But for now, I need the coke for processing. Yeah, 15.17, just because it uses the furnace type that needs that. Let's go and get our consistent supply of coke. Let's see, that's going to be where? I also need to expand my train network, apparently. My lines. I need more lines drawn. I could do it all the way down there. Sure. Let's not have a train of coal moving all the way over to produce coke out of it. Let's not do that. That's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. I'm going to expand this out and put the train station here and tap into that coal. I have 70 mining drills. I have plenty of mining drills to do this. Yeah, like, I've got the coal patches. I may as well use them, right? Especially since I know I'm going to need more coke anyway for carbon. I will need carbon. There are some of these ore processing processes that will require carbon, just as this process for iron ingots is going to require coke. There are others that are going to require carbon. Some are going to require some interesting things. Very interesting things. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Yeah, it's going to be fun. With a capital FU. Anyway. Let's continue building this. Do I want to have a thingy? It would have been much better to have this aligned there. But, oh well. I think I can have I can have this here. No. It has to be, there. Yep. What am I thinking? This is not the station. This is the station. And I can get away with it there. In the alternative, I can do something like that. And actually have it, yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a much better idea. We're gonna put that there. We're going to have a turn, and we're going to have that there. Because this is going to be just Coke here on the output. And then I can just do a straight line all the way down, make this a four-way intersection, and just straight. It'll be glorious. Let's get all this built. Thanks to the power of nanobots. The nanoest of nanobots. I need you there and you there. I didn't grab any additional thingies. Right. I went down to the mall to pick up additional power poles, and I didn't grab any power poles. Yeah, that sounds accurate. That sounds like normal situations. Sometimes you just go to the mall and grab everything besides what you went there to grab in the first place. Happens way too frequently. Okay, I should have those power poles. Have I made them on the network? Yes, on the bot method of it. And I do make them here. Oh, it's just, oh, these need steel. Sure, we'll limit to there. That's why you use the extended reach. I mean, to me, the being able to reach all the way across the map to pick stuff up out of chests just feels a little bit too cheaty. Feels a little bit too like you're dodging an intended mechanic that's there for difficulty and balance purposes. But that's just me personally. I just would rather not go to that extent. Get the bot some coffee. Yeah, coffee. My veins pulse with caffeine. Must be replenished every so often. Let me tell you, I went through so much coffee during my time in Massachusetts. I was very, very, very happy to have. Really? I'm out of. Okay. I was really happy to have actual uh, drip coffee in the heck you call it, an actual coffee pot rather than out of Keurig. Because when I'm here at home, we don't have a regular coffee pot set up. Just my own preference. I was attempting to reduce my total caffeine input for a time. So I used the Keurig. We have these reusable cups that you can just put coffee grounds in, right? So I just put my regular coffee grounds into this reusable K-cup, for the Keurig machine, and I make my big cups of coffee out of that. Usually it would be 2 full mugs of this, which would mean doing for this coffee cup size, doing a max size brew plus a size 2 brew. So we have a 5 size settings on our Keurig. So a size 5 and a size 2 is what fills this. And I would have 2 of these with and I only refresh the grounds between cups, right? So it's essentially re-brewing the same cup for that extra little size 2 amount. As it turns out, when you're using a Keurig in that way, you end up with mostly water rather than coffee. So yeah, it really affects things a lot. You get way more caffeine out of your grounds by just using a drip pot than one of these Keurigs. Alright, I am here for rail. Where's my rail? Rail! All of it. I'll fill the car. The heck all. You need some rail. So, I might go back to the drip pot considering how much I consume. Do I drink any special kind of coffee? Not most of the time. Most of the time I just have a, like, great big bin of the Folgers. Just one of those really tall Folgers. I guess you can call it a can, but it's just big plastic thing. Huge thing. And I just have that for the length of time that it takes me to go through that thing. But every so often I do pick up some specialty coffee. What I like to call rocket fuel, which is the Death Wish brand of coffee. Yes, there's a brand of coffee called Death Wish, and they claim to be the strongest coffee on the planet. And it is rocket fuel, and I drink it black. I drink all my coffee black. I don't like adding anything to it, but unless it's coconut almond milk, in which case I will always have coconut almond milk if there is any on hand, and I have bought some. But otherwise it's primarily just black coffee, and I do enjoy the strength of the Death Wish coffee because it is strong, and it's just the grounds that I get and thrown into the Keurig, so it ends up mostly watered down because, well, that's what a Keurig does, unfortunately. I mean, realistically, in order to get the strongest possible cup of coffee out of the Keurig, I would have to put the grounds into the reusable cup, do a size 3, medium size, I think, then replace the grounds with fresh grounds and do another size 3, and then I'd probably have something a little bit stronger. But then I'm going through 4 K-cups worth of coffee grounds for just 2 of these. This thing holds a lot. I don't even know anymore the actual amount that this holds. Like 24 ounces at least. It's a lot. Anyway, this is going to supply Coke, and this is going to be the depot for Coke. All 3 of these. I need to mine a little bit. Just a little bit. This will be 60 coal per second. Why is there trash on top of my beautiful ore patch. See, even with the setting to, like, not have trees on your ore patches, there's still occasionally trees on your ore patches. Like, thanks, RSO. How wonderful of you. But yeah, that's the coffee situation. The problem with the Death Wish coffee though is yeah, it's like 20 bucks for a bag of the things. It's a I think it is a 1 pound bag of grounds, but still 20 bucks. I can get a great big huge tin of Folgers for like 12 with way more coffee grounds in it. It's yeah. Yeah. Just financial reasons sometimes for getting the Folgers. Gosh, I haven't looked at the pie suite in a little bit. It's been a little bit since looking at that. See what changes are inbound. Yeah, I do like the Death Wish coffee. That is it is strong. It is strong coffee. I definitely love it. But I do fear you putting it in the decanter pot, the drip pot, because that would be absolute insanity. And another reason I don't like using the drip pot as much is I need to get a reusable filter for the thing. Because we have to keep going through these paper filters, and it's just a pain to deal with sometimes. All the paper filters and the drip pots. Alright, we've got some coal. Let's process this now. I need the crushers first. Where are my crushers? I need 8, I think, was the magic number to begin with. Followed by my steel doohickeys. Where am I? There they are. Fortunately, this has a very, very good 1-to-1, essentially, ratio between these. 4 per second, 4 per second. Yeah. Glorious. You're gonna crush that coal. And yeah, loaders. Duh. Of course I'm gonna use loaders. Why wouldn't I use loaders? Loaders are awesome. Yeah, when I was in Massachusetts, not only was I having inherently stronger coffee, but I was also drinking more than usual. So, yeah, but I was also, you know, working a lot more. I was definitely doing a lot more physical activity than I usually do. So, I needed I needed coffee to function during that time. This is also gonna make a few units of things. Yes. So this process, because this uses the crushed coal for fuel by default, there's not too much way around that, unfortunately. We end up consuming 15.17 of our coal, ultimately. $15.17. 15.17. Ah, right, that's the thing. I need to add one more. I need to add one more onto this. And the reason is that whole it's consuming the crushed coal thing. So it's like I'll end up with just that briefest amount less stuff in the end. Just that briefest of briefest less, unless... Oh, no, I don't, because it wasn't exactly 8 to begin with. Cool. It wasn't actually exactly 8 to begin with, so we're good. Just bring this down. I should have checked that. Alright. There we go. Get... Oh, that is... Hello, Dolly. Dolly! Dolly's arrived. Yes, the pretty girl. That's a pretty girl. You come say hello. Here, you can... Your tail's wet. Why is your tail wet? Dolly. What did you do? Anyway. Let's get the... Oh, I need more wagons. Wagons! Okay, so... Yeah, let's limit to 3. And you are Coke. Supply, depot, bulk cargo, circuit condition, and you can do your thing. I need to define Coke. And we are done. Now I can get back in my car, all the way over here, and head on over to my, station doing thingies. How much rail do I have on me? Do I have enough to do this line going straight south? I think I do. Let's just draw this line here, so that I don't forget to do it later. Then we can start doing our processing into ingots. Oh, I don't think I'm ever going to use this particular blueprint, by the way. So this particular blueprint makes a very high throughput 4-way intersection. That's essentially this buffered v3.1.4 foundation thingy. It's just a massive 4-way intersection that with really high train throughput. I never have that many trains in any of my bases for that to be necessary. Like, why? There are, like, I'd rather make better trains, use mods for better trains, to not have to run that many trains. Meow. Yeah, you were looking like you're gonna jump on top of my TV there. Little Miss Chirper. Okay, this station needs the coal and the iron. So, our iron ore at iron ingots 1. Our coke at iron ingots 1. I will need a separate thing for steel ingots. Well, steel ingots will not get used in other alloys. So I think I will just go steel, the iron ingots into steel ingots into molten steel into steel plates in one factory. Because I'm pretty sure that the steel isn't used in other alloys. This is going to supply iron ingots 1. Then down here will be the depot. D iron ingots 1. There we go. Cannot reach. Cannot reach. Coke. And iron ore. Just want to have a look. Steel ingots. Yeah, only used molten steel. But it is a receiver of other ingot types. Huh. I guess as long as I design to be able to bring in a cobalt and nickel. Or, yeah, to bring in a cobalt and nickel. Oh, the Invar needs steel. Right. So yeah, I am going to have to provide steel ingots onto the network. Yeah. That's slightly unfortunate, but you know what? We'll go with it. There's also molten cobalt steel, which is necessary, and that's also going to use steel. So there we go. Those are going to be separate factories at some point. You need so much iron for those things, the Invar and the not as much Invar is necessary over the course of an Angels playthrough, but definitely the cobalt steel is used quite a bit. Cobalt steel is, yeah, it's got the bearings and the gears and the plates, the level 3 stuff. We need the plates for the level 3 mining drills. The gear wheels are, yeah, the blue logistics. Just blue logistics. Level 3 stuff. Though oddly, I don't really think it's science. I don't think science overall. Hmm. What about just like cobalt? Why are there 2 entries? It doesn't get used for anything. Yay! Actual cobalt plates. Nothing. There are plate types and metal types that exist that aren't used for anything, but the intent is that there would be. Hi, Ollie. I guess my chair's unlocked on me. There you go. As my chair just leans back from his weight. The intent is that other mods would make use of some of these things. I just don't happen to have any of those other mods that would make use of these things. Hi. Tail to face, whip. And off he goes to the floor. Sure. Hi. Why you know? Oh, I didn't define iron ore. There you go. May as well define the iron ingots while I'm here. So I've done the ore sorting. Now it's in this stuff. Yeah. Now we are working on the iron steel processing. Iron ingots, steel ingots, casting of iron, and casting of steel. That's next. Then we get to work on crushing of things. And getting into the copper, tin, and lead sorting and processing, as well as making bronze and solder. And then also putting like the making the various different types of circuits on the train network that we have access to right now, and like component parts of various things. Getting science made on the network, and then petrochemical processing. We're going to be here a while. That's the thing that I'm trying to say here. That I need to get everything that is on my mall right now, currently, not my mall, my bus, the stuff that is being made on the bus needs to be made at scale on the train network, or at least made in such a way that it's easy to scale. And my train network needs to expand a lot. And I don't think there's going to be much of a way to avoid building stuff over ore patches, because there's a few more ore patches than I would have liked, honestly, with my resource generation settings. Sometimes you just overdo it. What is the production goal for this particular playthrough? I don't currently have anything set in stone for this, but generally speaking, my default would probably be 60 per second. Yeah, 60 per second, something along those lines of all sciences. It's relatively on the low side, I would think, for some of the sciences, but I've done this like 3 times already. Just getting to the end of space extension, because that's part of it. Is that main goal is just get through space extensions stuff and techs and things. But yeah, anyway, gonna take a while either way. I do think I do want a some sort of set goal for production. Here it's just determining exactly what that's going to look like. That is the issue here. So I need 8. Yes, 8, then 4. It was 8 into 5, right, on those pellet presses. What was it again? It was, yeah, 8 into 5. Precisely. Oh, it's 7.5. I see. But you can do some direct insertion shenaniganry. I'm not going to bother with any of that. This is going to make processed iron out of the ore. I need to make sure that I have that line for the pellet press. So input, this needs 2 per second each. I generally would prefer having the loaders for that. It is only 1 per second out. So that'll be fine with regular inserters. Pellet presses. The pellet presses will make 2 per second each. Alright. Just planning ahead. Will there at one point be any more updated Pi tutorials? At some point, I would think. I just need to consider what would get viewed. Like, there should be an updated raw coal processing at some point because, well, that particular video got outdated like within a day of posting it. My updated raw coal processing video was already outdated like a day or two later because things I brought up in it were changed. Things that were problematic were changed at the chemical science and level and the levels after that. Not the initial stuff. The initial stuff has stayed the same overall, but it's that later phase stuff that got some changes to it. For now, though, I'm going to be doing this. Bringing this down. Into 4 of these blast furnaces. The rest of the science tutorials, yeah, please don't fight. You two. What are you two doing? Hey, leave him alone. Dolly. Dolly wants to play with her brother. With the brother. You tried doing the full pie street. The full pie street not only is pre-circuits a slog because of everything has to be handcrafted, yes. Mob was getting updated and kept breaking, yes. That was the other thing. It changed consistently. Consistently changed. Hello, Ollie. Yeah. Loaders. Loaders, please, on the output here. Like, yes, it is a lot. Pie Suite is a lot. It's a lot. A lot of everything. That is the Pie Suite in a nutshell. It is a lot of everything. And yes, a lot of handcrafting early on, especially until you really get into red science. But yeah, you wanted to see the rest of the science tutorials. I got through Pi science. I don't think I did an updated purple. Because I mean, I have tutorials for I think every one of the sciences, but they're not all updated for Pi alien life. That's the key thing, is they haven't all been updated for Pi alien life. But the thing about the tutorials is, if you've made it to blue science and you've made it past blue science, do you really need another tutorial to get into purple? Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Is like, if you are able to get there, to get past blue, you probably have the skills to figure out what you need to do to get into purple and to get into utility. Like, utility is like, okay, if you've gotten into purple, do you really need someone else telling you how to get into utility and space science? Probably not, right? You've probably already gotten the skills that you need at that point. So that's one of the things, really. It's those tutorials. It's like, yes, the early stuff is fine, but it's eventually you will learn the skills for a lot of the later phase things. Yes, there's always going to be useful stuff that my particular playstyle can provide, at least for some, but if you've gotten there, you have your way of building things. I'm not trying to get everyone to play the exact same way that I play. In fact, I know that that there are problems. There are many inefficiencies with how I play and how I think sometimes. Yeah, I just need the iron at this point, right? Yeah. Let the iron flow. And that should be that. Oh yeah, I'm totally not building this around the concept of, like, beacons or modules. Like, I am not even remotely thinking about that right now for my builds. Because everything's going to need to get torn down and rebuilt around beacons and modules and etc. once I do really start getting into them. Just, it's all going to need a complete teardown and rebuild for all of that. Anyway, I can try to build around that right now, but so much of the math changes that why bother doing that now when I could do that with the beacons and the modules and do that math then, rather than attempt to do the math now when I don't even have them with me. So yeah, that's another aspect of things. I need some fuel. Yeah, fuel is good. Yeah, you take fuel. Did I name these? Yes. Iron ingot. Supply to depot. Full cargo. Circuit condition. You can do your thing. I need to limit these. Let's say 3 for each supply load. I already defined the iron ingots. So that is that step done. Hello, my Ollie. Walking across my screen. Ollie, what are you doing? He is making toys. Making toys out of things on my desk. Here, just go on my lap, please. You don't spend as much time as on my lap as I would like you to, especially not compared to your sister. Your sister's more of the lap cat, and I know you're a lap cat too. It's just you like being behind me. most of the time rather than on me. But you do like being on me occasionally. Yes. Yes, the boy. Okay. From here. What are you sniffing? You sniffing my wrist? You smell? You smell my smellies? He smells the smellies on my wrist. I brought some of this stuff that some people may have heard of from Massachusetts, called Stetson brand cologne. So Ollie's just sniffing the wrist at this point. Okay, I'm going to build this next thing. Where? Exactly? Oh boy. Where am I going to build this next thing? I do not know. Uh, here somewhere. The next thing is steel ingots, followed by the production of the iron and steel plates. Oh boy, this is gonna be massively interesting. Oh, I need belt. I need belt. Let's get some supplies, as well as, I guess, place down our doohickey. Where will this live? Probably right here. Up top will be one of these. I'm also going to put one down underneath. Let's need to place that again. Just like so. Build as much as we can here. Because I need, like, 3 of these. 3 more of these. One for the steel ingots, one for the steel plates, and one for the iron plates. And yeah, I know it's probably a better idea just to move the molten around, but eh. Eh. And as I have said, I will be building in a way that will allow me, if I want to use the various mixings of ingots for better efficiency as we go along. Now, is it manganese or magnesium? It's manganese, so I don't think we're going to end up with any manganese ever in this, unfortunately. And there's going to be a couple of those. Does Bob Angels and or the whole mod pack get you to the point that I can actually make a mall much faster than Pi? Yeah. This is much faster than a Pi game. This is way faster than a Pi game. But yeah, I have a bot mall right now. We've been playing for 20 hours. 20 hours in a Pi game is red science automated. Maybe about the time you're like working on circuit ones on a Pi game by 20 hours. I would say you have automated red science by 20, as well as begun working on getting into circuit ones, right? Approximately, approximately, in 20 hours. Here we've got our like basic electronic boards already, and are solidly in like almost finished with our level 2 of science and are building out our rail network and all of that. So yes, progress is significantly faster in Angels and Bobs. Well, yeah, first playthrough, you're likely gonna end up at 100 hours for those first circuit ones. Most likely, first playthrough. Do I even like need any of this? I don't need these techs right now. Like that's the main problem I'm having. Is like I just don't need these techs. I can research these techs, I just don't need them. Alright, I've built these. How much rail do I have left? Enough for another doohickey. What about the chain signals? I am running out of chain signals-ish. I want this next thing. Where? I guess I can shove one more thing in right here. And that'll be the 3 stations that I need going forward. Actually, I think these 2 are going to be my plate producers, and this one over here that I'm about to make will be my steel ingot producer. Just as long as I have the rail for it, and the signals and all of that, all the train stops for it. It looks like I'm 1 short on a supplier train stop. Oh boy. The supplier train stop are the depots, by the way. A tree is in the way. What's with the rail loops? It allows the trains to do a U-turn. That's the only reason, is they allow U-turns. Without having to, like, path weird, extended pathways through other stations and such. A lot of the times when I put down a train at a station and put the wagons on and give it its schedule, when I set it to automatic, the train like leaves the station to come back to the station again. It like wants to do a big loop and get back to the station when I set it back to set it onto automatic, even though it's at the station to begin with. Like, what? Even though it's at the station, it still wants to leave and come back for whatever reason. So I need to have a way for it to quickly get back. That's the only reason. It's just for that one case where I've placed down a fresh train, given it a schedule, and set it to automatic, and the game wants to have the train leave the station and return to it because it doesn't think that the train is properly at the station when it absolutely is. It's snapped to the station, yet the game somehow thinks it's not actually at the station when it is. And if I don't have that loop, a nearby loop for it to do the U-turn, it's gonna end up pathing way out in the middle of nowhere to try and do a U-turn to get back. Hello, Ollie. You hear something? You're gonna leave me now? Okay, I need signals and rail and stuff. I need rail related things. So let's get some rail-related things. That's going to be more locomotives, more wagons. Where are these guys? These guys. Another set of those would be good too. And all of the rail ever. And signal. Yeah, signals. Where are those signals? Signals, there you are. Excuse me, one more. There we go. Ta-da! Stuff things! I am going to need buildings. So, the steel ingots. That is the next field here. Steel ingots will need oxygen. As well as a fuel supply. So, I'm going to need to get oxygen from something. And this is where things get a little interesting, because I'm going to not do electrolysis. That sounds like a terrible idea to do electrolysis. I would rather do the nitrogen, oxygen, and void the nitrogen here. Now, there are processes for metal processing that will use nitrogen. If I remember correctly... What was it that used nitrogen gas? Silicon! Yes, that's the one. Silicon uses nitrogen. Interesting. What do you use that sodium carbonate for? This I have never seen. This is new to me. Thermoelectric generator. Sodium cobaltate. Ah! An RTG. I see. I see, an RTG. Please tell me it lasts like forever. Because that'd be great. Ingredient in power cores. Ah, robot fours. And satellites. Well, it makes sense. That it makes total sense. Cool. And you have to like do all the nuclear processing now. Great. So it's been over a year since I've last done a complete playthrough of Bob's Angel Space Extension. And a few things have been changed, and I'm going to blame King Arthur for most of them, including that. I know it's a team of people who have been working on Angels since Angel himself has been away, somewhat, being a dad. So yeah, I'm just gonna blame King for most of it, because King does Pie Suite work, and anything that makes it look more like the Pie Suite in Angels, yeah, I'm just blame King. just blame King. Was on the Bob's side for the RTG. Ah, I see. Still though, more complexity. Trying to be more like Pie Suite. Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna blame King for the like bioprocessing stuff in Angels, and the changes to the uh production of the Bob's modules to use this weird bioprocessing stuff for these shards and things. That I'm definitely blaming King for. Inherently. So how much do I want? of the steel ingots. Blah. I want blah. I want 15. I don't know. 12 and a half, actually. Clearly, I don't want 12 and a half. Clearly, I want, like, 2.5. Yes, that's more like it. I was thinking about 10 ingots of my 22 and a half, so that the other 12 and a half can go into the iron plates. So 2.5 steel ingots. I need a couple of air filters and a chem plant. Do I have any? I do already on me. Good. Let us pin and go. Where did I park? Right up here. Alright, let's go. Let's do this quickly. Also, I'm going to need a bunch of induction furnaces and casting machines going forward. And I am making those in here. These are the casting machines, and these are the induction furnaces. Unless things have been massively modified, most of the time it's 1 to 3 on the ratio for induction to casting. From what I remember, this makes 120. And then the casting machine doing the iron plates. Where's the where there. Doing 30 per second. Yeah, 1 to 3. Memory. Memory is a good thing to have. We'll see how much we actually need in the end to process these. And I hope you've been able to see thus far the downsides of doing what I'm doing with the rail network thus far. Because this is the base thus far. This is the base thus far. I need to add crushing of everything that I'm not currently crushing. The stereotyte, bobmonium, protinium, rubite. 4 more things need to be crushed in 4 separate factories. And they need their individual ore sorting for 3 more ores. The copper, the tin, and the lead. I need a factory for copper ingots, tin ingots, and lead ingots. And I need a factory for copper plates, tin plates, lead plates, and maybe also a separate factory that is making solder out of the ingots of tin and lead. So, you know, a few more factories. And that's just for the basic raw resources being provided onto my train network. After that, we have to start consuming them in the form of the electronic boards, electronic circuit boards, and stuff and things. I hate the naming conventions on the circuits in Bob's. I hate Bob's naming conventions. It's way too blah. Way too similar of names between things. Can we just not have a circuit 1, 2, 3, and 4? Or a basic, advanced, complex? And why does it have to be a circuit and then a circuit board? Have I seen how to get thorium ore yet? I mean, I've sneak peeked it. So thorium ore can be ore sorted out of ferrous and cupric crystals. And hybrid catalysts. This is pretty late game inherently. Well, you need it for the satellites I saw, so we're talking end of game. But yeah, the you have to go through the full crystal chain, which for ferrous and cupric to get into the individual sorting. In the alternative, there's a tiny amount that comes out of this sludge, but eh, eh. And please tell me that there's like a Kovarex equivalent for the thorium. It looks or the for the plutonium. So you can direct convert neptunium into plutonium. And this is your Kovarex, converting 238 in Americium, America, Americium 241 into additional plutonium, and a lead oxide that you have to deal with somehow. Ah, Kovarex. There you go. Bobbing about enrichment process. So, uranium 238, 540 into 41 and 2. Yeah, that's that. This will help getting to 40 units, and then you can have however much you want. Just have to make sure you're getting the 238 input. So, it doesn't seem that bad to me. Anyway, as we move right along. Why did I build on that side there and that side there? I don't know. I do not know. But what I do know is that we have 13-ish minutes left in today's stream, and I want to get as far as I can. I think it's that side. That's the nitrogen. Pipe. I need, like, pipe to ground. Just a few units of it. I need 2 blast furnaces. That will make me steel ingots. The steeliest of steel ingots. Okay, steel will go out by loaders. Then I need 2. Said I need 2 doohickeys. That will be whatever coal, I guess, or coke. I guess I can bring in coke. I've got plenty. Our coke at steel ingots 1. Our iron ingots at steel ingots 1. S steel ingots 1. D steel ingots 1. I have to actually go down there to place the thingy. Yes, the thingy! The supply station that is ghosted. There we go. All sorted out there. Need to actually get the requests flowing at this point. So you were coke. Glorious coke. You are in petrochemical refining. And you are the ingots. There we go. They are on their way. And I am keeping these separate. You may have noticed these lines. Oh, right, I need... Ah, boy. I need things. Belt. Liz, belt. I keep the lines separate, even though I could combine them, because I am planning for future scaling of stuff. Eventually. We shall see how quickly I need more stuff. I already know that in order to get copper, I'm already going to need more mineral catalysts than I have. Like, I'm making 6 mineral catalysts. I have one singular crystallizer fully outputting catalysts right now for mineral catalysts. I need more than that because I'm using over half for the amount of iron that I'm currently making. And I plan on making the same amount of copper. And then there's tin and lead on top of that to make. So I need to, like, times 5 this. I need, like, 4 more of this here by itself. I have the resources to do that. I just need the buildings to do that, is the main concern there. Alright, so I came down here because I need some belt. I guess I could pick up a few units of pipe as well while I'm down here. The belt is on the bus. How many more units of my... None. Nanobot ammo. Nanobot ammo is good to make sure you have enough of. Oops. Hey, vehicle. Wherefore art thou? All the way down there. Let's bring you up. Ollie has jumped on a box. A box on a bin. And I heard the rustling of the tape. Okay, take those. Yeah, and then take... Really? Really? No, what? Why you no tin? Why you no tin? Oh. That why you no tin. That's a pretty simple fix. To be completely honest, I can just go down here and fix it real quick. Why did I not do this from the beginning? Like, yeah, this is gonna fill up at some point. Duh. Yeah, I've got to get rid of something. There. That'll fix it. That makes sure that this will constantly operate as soon as it, like, gets through the buffers. The backlog. And we're off. But I think you already knew that. Okay, where did I park? All the way down there. Let's get in the car and head on back to our steel ingots. It seems like all I'll really be able to do here at the end of the stream is get into the steel ingots. And we will finish up with our plates next time for iron, as well as scale up the mineral catalysts and get into the crushing of stereotyte and protinium so that I can start working on my copper ore sorting. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. A glorious scheme. Schemes and plans, plans and schemes. Okay, we are here. We've arrived with some amount of extra belt. Not a ton, but sufficient. Bring on the ingots! This is gonna be the main consumer of... That was close. Main consumer of my catalysts, by the way, is gonna be making stuff for iron and steel. And connect. Aww. Power. Oh god, that's a lot of throughput. Hmm. Hum. Yeah. 6 per second each. Hmm. That is a few units of steel ingots. Oy. But they're good now. Just add a locomotive with wagons. Limit these wagons to a singular stack, I would imagine. Stack size 200. Grab some coal for you. Yeah, so steel. Supply to depot, full cargo, and circuit condition. And you are good. Huzzah! We have 3 minutes to start working on the processing of the ingots towards iron. Doesn't matter which one of these. I'll go to the top one to do the iron first. So for the iron plates, we are going to be doing it out of the molten iron out of the iron only for now. The iron silicon is one that I like. Ultimately, we're not really getting any like manganese ever, so it's the only other option if we want to do an increased molten iron output. But yeah, so this is going to take an ingredient input, and it's going to take 12.5, which is what's left of our throughput of the iron ingots from the steel array, and that's going to make 12.5. Yeah, one to one on the ingots there. Oh boy. Yeah. 5 into 13. And as I've said, this is a very specific ratio of 1 to 3, and I would rather build at that ratio of 1 to 3 for this. So the induction, I do need more than 4 to process the amount of stuff that I have. I am going to build it in this way. And then 3 casting machine. That's not accurate. There. I think I'm gonna have a spacing gap of 1 between these. Oops. There we go. For now, just loaders on the inputs. You are doing molten iron. You are doing the iron plates. Just a straight shot of pipe. There you go. Needs all of the power ever. Now, there are other things that we could think about if I did do the molten onto the network. Things like strand casting. Strand casting would give the coils of iron, or iron sheet. Yeah, iron sheet coil. That's done in strand casting machines out of molten and water. This is basically similar to like a stacked iron plate. It just unrolls in a machine 1 to 4. There's no real difference in efficiency as far as I'm aware between molten and ultimately the plates. By doing this strand casting is just a way to improve the throughput on a belt for iron, using iron sheets versus the iron plates, but I don't need to do that. And it can only do sheet coils from molten iron, so I just don't. There are other processes that have other things that you can do in strand casting machines, but I'm just not going to bother this time around. You request iron ingots at iron plates 1. Supply iron plates 1. You are at iron plates 1, or something at iron plates 1, just to give it a name. And this will be supply iron plate, not supply, depot iron plates 1. And there we go. That is basically that. Make sure the power is on and the request flows. Like so. Then get it on train. Grab fuel. See how it needs to do that stupid loop-de-loop? That's why I try to have these U-turn stations. See, you see what it did there? The train was snapped, the locomotive was snapped to the station, and yet still, setting it to automatic, it wants to go out and come back. Stupid, stupid, stupid behavior. I don't like it. I don't like it. But what I do like is that now I have iron plates. Iron plates 1. Iron plates through Angel's processing. That's what I got. Glorious, glorious stuffs and things. And I need to do like plain balancing or something. I think technically not, but whatever. So that is casting of iron and the steel ingots. And that's all we're going to be able to get done for the day today. With that, folks, I would very much like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you're watching the VODs on YouTube, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. You can, of course, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/otakushowboat, as well as support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. I will, of course, be back on Tuesday, where we will continue starting off with the casting of steel, and then go into crushing of stereotype. Likely, very first thing is scaling the mineral catalysts, but yeah, we'll go from there. We'll work towards getting into copper ore sorting and casting. I hope to see you all then.